Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys the season recap for the Pokemon Premier League Season 3 of Division 1. And basically I would just want to make this video to kind of give a whole recap of how our season went as the Pittsburgh Pyroar and how the entire league season went. So right now I'm going to give you guys a chance to be caught up on all the other coaches and how they performed. If you don't know who won the league, I am going to be spoiling that in this video. If you want to know who got relegated and who didn't get relegated, I will be spoiling that in this video. So I'm pretty sure, just check out the other coaches, because if I tell you who, was in position to win or who was in position to be relegated, then that kind of gives it away. So if you aren't just caught up on what has happened to the rest of the PPL, I am going to be spoiling that in this video, because the season has come to a complete conclusion. So with that being said, I'm actually going to come back to this because this is going to take longer than the entire league recap, if that makes sense. So what I do want to start on is how the league table ended up, and as you can see, we finished in 4th place with 7 wins, 4 losses, and a +6 differential. That is the exact same win-loss record and the exact same differential and the exact same placement on the table that we finished last season. So we are the most consistent team in the league, easily. Nobody else can have that claim of having the same record and same differential and ending up in the same place at the table 2 seasons in a row. So I am pretty happy with that. Of course, I'm not happy I won. The person who did win was Travesty of the North Melbourne Kangaskhan's. So you remember he kind of completely destroyed us, and it was all good. But yeah, so he did go on to win the championship, so absolutely congratulations to him. As you can see, the 2 teams down here that got relegated, Frank and the FC Volcarona ended up in last place, 3 wins, 8 wins, wow, 3 wins, 8 losses, and a -22 differential. RTK and the Portland Timbers, that is who we played the very last week of the season. I mentioned that if we won, that he's basically most likely going to Division 2, and it turns out that was the case, and he will be relegated. We will not be playing RTK next season because he will be in the other division. Then in 10th place, Liam, or Unlawful Exile of the West Shan United, because it's Chandler, not Hitmonchan. I always get that mixed up. West Shan United was in the playoff match. If you guys don't know, the team that finishes 10th place in Division 1 must play the 3rd place team in Division 2 to fight for the spot in Division 1. Well, they had that battle. I highly recommend that you check out the battle. I know it's on Liam's channel. I don't know if Jack Electric Storm 252 has uploaded his side or not, but I definitely recommend you check out the battle. But of course, I said I am going to spoil who won. So 3, 2, 1, blah, blah, blah. Liam is going to be staying in Division 1, which means we get another chance to beat him again next season. But yeah, this is the table. Finished right below Shoddy, which kind of sucks, but we still finished above Jack, which, as I mentioned when we played him, that he's probably our closest rival in terms of skill level, based on performance, based on kind of our journey from Season 1 to Season 3. We've had remarkably similar journey, so yeah, you can see me and Jack, we're just neck and neck, it's crazy. So yeah. And then you can kind of just take a look at the rest of the table for yourself. And of course, I'll be going by each week and kind of recapping what happened as we go on. But of course, you do need to see the Golden Pokeball Award. So this is our form of the MVP, and basically it gets sorted by who had the most kills, and then the tiebreaker goes to who had the highest differential. So, Mega Lopunny won the Golden Pokeball Award in both D1 and D2, because Mega Lopunny is just absolutely ridiculous. On top of the coaches that used Mega Lopunny this season in both divisions are absolutely ridiculous. Tyranitar was actually up there. Tyranitar got a couple kills on us. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Arcanine was our highest finisher at 6th place, 13 kills, 7 deaths with a +6 differential. And Roserade was also in the top 10 with 12 kills, 7 deaths. It goes a little bit before there's another mon from ours, and of course we'll be looking at my team tab specifically and going over each Pokemon and things like that. So that is how the Golden Pokeball Award shaked out. Arcanine didn't win, didn't even get top 5, but I mean, it was tied with 13 kills, so I mean, it was tied for the Pokemon that was in 3rd place, but because of the differential, Arcanine ended up being the lowest out of all the mons with 13 kills. So let's go ahead and let's go back to here and go over my team and the matches. So I kind of want to go over the matches first, because it's going to be a very, very quick recap, because I'd like to give kind of an in-depth like recap of how I feel about each mon, and things like that. So that's what I plan on doing. So we actually started off the season really nicely with a 3-0 victory over Necro. That was closer than the 3-0, I think really went to show, because we almost lost to a Scizor, but in that game is when I really started to gain respect for Roserade, because it got a couple kills. I think Hydreigon did some work, and Arcanine, of course, put in work, because Arcanine always puts in work. Speaking of Arcanine putting in work, we had this game against Shroom Raver, the 3-0 victory, despite a lot of DCs and things like that. That game was a nightmare in that sense, but it was great in the fact that Arcanine got all 6 kills. It even got 7 kills if you count the fact that it died to its own recoil, so it killed itself too. But it only counted as 6. My biggest regret in that game is I actually could have, I think in that game I could have Morning Sunned, like I could have regained health. I could have outstalled, the only thing left was like a Sylveon, and I could have outstalled, like I could have Morning Sunned up a couple times to make sure that I was at health, that I could Flare Blitz and not die, so then there would be, I would get the kill without taking down Arcanine, meaning that it would have been a 4-0 victory, and Arcanine would have +7 differential right now. But at the end of the day, it's still not that big of a deal. And then unfortunately we fell into this area right here. We lost to Sam. That was slightly bad prep, but it was also just being outplayed. And that just led into Shoddy absolutely destroying us, me just bringing a team that did nothing to the team that he brought against me. Out-prepped, outplayed, out everything that week, and that was honestly, this is probably my most embarrassing game that I've ever played. This is like top 2, because the other game was another game that will not be mentioned here. But in the PPL, for sure, this is my most embarrassing game I've ever played. And I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. Thankfully, we kind of we righted our ship in the middle of the season, got this nice 5-0 victory against Liam. That was also really great because it provided me just a big confidence boost that like I'm not terrible and like I can beat people, and I think that really helped set the tone for the rest of the season. So that 5-0 victory was huge personally, more so than just getting a win and getting a big win. It was really great for just my mentality of how I was approaching the season. So that was huge. That was a really, really good good victory for us. Mega Altaria put in work that week, I remember. Hitmontop, I think this is when the Hitmontop streak started, from week 5 to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost want to say this game too. I'm pretty sure Hitmontop got all 5 of its kills 5 weeks in a row, but I could be mistaken, but I think that's true. That was good. Then we had this, probably the best game of the season against Kelly and the Baltimore Braviaries, because it was just such a good match. I brought all the special attackers. He brought like 3 Assault Vest users and his Regenerator Core, and it was really annoying, but it was fantastic prep on his part, and I think we played really well, and I'm really, really looking forward to playing Kelly again next season. So hopefully we can have another fantastic match. Hopefully we end up on the other side. Then we kind of hit our lucky streak. A bit of hacks helped us beat Alex. It wasn't necessarily definitive that hacks made us win, but it definitely ensured us the victory, had they would not have happened. And this game against Frank, I should not have won, honestly. In my opinion, I don't think I should have won. And the fact that it's a 4-0 victory is I feel like it's a big slap in the face to him, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't even remember what the hacks was that happened. I think I critted something. I think I critted his Entei or something, which destroyed my team. Something like that. That was crazy. But we won't get to face Frank again next season, so, you know, that's the only battle we get to have against him, I guess. And then in the middle of all these good battles here is, of course, this 5-0 loss to Trav, which, I mean, did win the league, so I don't feel that bad. I definitely wanted to put up a better show, so, you know, it is kind of rough. But I'm sure I will have other chances to battle Trav and hopefully get a little bit of revenge, because that was a little bit embarrassing. Not nearly as embarrassing as this 5-0 loss. This was just, you know, he played better than me, and that was mostly it, and brought a better team. Then we ended off the season with two very nice 2-0 victories that I'm proud of both of those wins. Hacks did help me a lot against RTK. Again, it's not definitively result changing, but it did definitely help. Actually, there was definitive game changing hacks against Jack too, so this has kind of been a lucky season, and next season I'm going to have to come out and prove that, you know, it's not all, you know, luck. Like, I don't need to rely on luck just to win a couple games. I really need to prove that I can, you know, step my game up and play to the level of some of these guys, because each season Division 1 is going to get tougher and tougher as, you know, people win Division 2 and move up. You know, that shows that they're capable of winning a league, as well as just, you know, the people that are already here improving their skill level. So we just need to keep stepping our game up, and we will definitely do that. So now I want to talk about each Pokemon, and kind of what they did for me and how I feel about them. So but before we go into these ones, I actually want to talk about the ones that I dropped. So I actually dropped Weavile and Sandslash in the same thing. That got me Tornadus T, which is something that I definitely do not regret getting. Weavile is still a fantastic Pokemon. Both of these are. Weavile and Sandslash are both fantastic Pokemon. Weavile, unfortunately, I felt like it would have benefited me personally more if I had more U-turn Volt Switch momentum to be able to send it in and then be able to get off good hits. Unfortunately, I was kind of stuck in the situation of trying to switch in Weavile when I could, and it just didn't work out. There are a lot of good checks to Weavile, and my team did not, like, alright, so a lot of, like, bulky waters will stop Weavile. Unfortunately, my thing to take out bulky waters was, like, Lantern. Like, I guess Roserade, but, like, Roserade doesn't want to switch in on a lot of Ice Beams, and Lantern just isn't reliable and powerful enough. So, like, I don't have a strong thing to take out Weavile's counters, so I think Weavile just didn't fit this team as much, but I do absolutely love it, and I would love to give it another shot someday. Sandslash is another one that just didn't kind of fit, because Hitmontop was a better Rapid Spinner, Bronzong was better defensively, and I didn't really need the offensive Sandslash because I already had other things to do offense. So Sandslash just unfortunately didn't fit. That's another one I would love to try again someday. And then we have Cofagrigus, which I'm just not a fan of now. I'm not a fan of using. It doesn't fit the way I play, and you know, it kind of got abused as setup fodder, it got abused as just being toxic and worn down, and I've just really lost a lot of, I don't know, I just don't like Cofagrigus as much as I originally did. So it's unfortunate that I did get Cofagrigus. I could have gotten a better Pokemon in the draft instead of that, but you know, I thought it would work out, and now I just know that it's not the Pokemon for me. So if you can use Cofagrigus, then fantastic, good for you, but it's just not for me. So let's just go ahead and quick run down the Pokemon that did finish on my team, and Mega Altaria was our first draft pick, and I'm actually really happy with Mega Altaria. I only brought it to 5 games, but it got killed in 4 of those games, and I definitely do like it. I think, for me personally, I don't know that I would draft it in this league again, just because Mega Altaria is one of the highest valued mons, like one of the most expensive mons. Like, this is like on tier with all the most expensive mons, and Mega Altaria didn't perform as the best Pokemon on my team, so I don't know if it should be paid as the best Pokemon on my team. But I do really enjoy using Mega Altaria, and say in other leagues or in other, you know, forms of league competition, I would definitely consider using Mega Altaria again, because it did put in work, and I definitely figured out how to use it pretty effectively. So I did like that. Tornadus T is fantastic. A lot of people will tell you Tornadus T is like top 10, like one of the top 10 best mons in league format in general. Tornadus T really came in clutch the last week of the season, picking up 4 kills, 4 of its 6 kills. Tornado Tea didn't get a lot of kills for me, mostly because I didn't use it in that way. I used it defensively, I used it as just a way to get momentum and things like that. So Tornado Tea wasn't usually my main form of offense, and when it was, which was the last week of the season, it got 4 kills. So it kind of, I really like Tornado Tea. I think it's a fantastic mon. I think everybody should draft it. It is very, very good. Having an offensive regenerator mon that is not like super frail. Like I don't know, I haven't used like Mian Chao yet, but that's the only other like offensive regenerator mon I can think of, and I think Tornado Tea is better just because it's faster, and I think it can take hits a little bit better. It's just me. Who knows? Maybe I will use Mian Chao someday, and I'll have a different opinion of that. But you know, and I'm sure there's like another regenerator mon that I'm forgetting that might be offensive, but Tornado Tea is great. And I absolutely think that dropping Weavile and Sandslash to get this was worth it, and I think it really helped my team perform better than I think it otherwise would have. So yeah, definitely happy that I made that transfer. And even though I think people thought it was kind of weird that I dropped Weavile, but it is what it is. Arcanine is of course Bay. I love Arcanine. It is my favorite mon in League format. Probably my favorite mon of all time. Some of its weaknesses / checks counters did get a little bit exposed towards the end of the season. You know, I brought Arcanine because it takes on Victini, and then Alex brought Victini to take on Arcanine, and he really kind of exposed that doesn't always work. So people kind of started to figure out how I use Arcanine and use that kind of against me, but Arcanine still put in a lot of work. I mean, of course, it got all 6 kills against Shroom. Choice Banded Arcanine put in a whole ton of work against Jack. Would have put in a whole ton of work against Shadi had I not played with it badly, but it is what it is. Arcanine is amazing. Best. I say that Arcanine is best fire type in League format. That's just me. Actually, it's definitely top 3. Top 3 for me. This is I love Arcanine. That's just me. Roserade. Roserade has risen to like the almost Arcanine level. I brought Roserade to every single game this season, and it got 12 kills because Roserade is so good. With the Technician Hidden Power, it can hit everything super effectively with a good move. It is a good Scarfer. It is a good specially defensive mon. I loved using the specially defensive set against Jack. It's a good Assault Vest mon. Natural Cure and Technician are fantastic abilities. Roserade is my favorite grass type in the League format, hands down. I absolutely love it. I love that it's offensive. I love that it can also take hits. I mean, heck, I tried to bring a Fizzly defensive one for an Azumarill, even though the Azumarill didn't show up when that was the match against Kelly. So there was a couple matches where I brought kind of the wrong Roserade set per se, and I think that kind of limited from Roserade to get even more kills. You know, if I would brought in the right Roserade set against Sam, maybe I could get an extra kill or 2, or the right one against Kelly, maybe I could get an extra kill or 2. So I think 12 kills is actually a little low for what it otherwise would have had I used just a little bit better. But Roserade is fantastic. I don't like saying best mon of this, but Roserade is easily my favorite grass type in the League format, and I've used like 8 different grass types. So Roserade easily my favorite. Bronzong took me a little while to get used to. I actually considered dropping Bronzong earlier in the season, but Bronzong kind of, you know, it started to put in work. Even got a few kills, but it is bulky. It is, you know, it was valuable for Stealth Rocks. The Steel typing with the Levitate ability is really helpful. It's good for fairies, and yeah, I do like Bronzong. I think Bronzong would have worked a little bit better if I had Wish support on this team, which is what I really wanted. But it still worked fine on its own, and yeah, Bronzong's a good mon. It's a good value. It's a good cheap steel type, and I definitely recommend drafting it if a lot of better steel types are just gone. Hitmontop is a fantastic rapid spinner. I love Hitmontop. Got 5 kills for me. You know, Fizzly Defensive Intimidate was easily the best Hitmontop set, because most Stealth Rockers that you see are physical, so you just switch Hitmontop in on a physical attacker, they go for Stealth Rock, and it's just like you can rapid spin it away because you can take a hit from that physical attacker, or you can just go for a close combat. Like, you know, there was things like Tyrantrum, there were things like Oh, there was another one, Crocodile. Things that I could just bring in Hitmontop on, like that they went for stealth rocks, I could just rapid spin because they don't want to take a close combat. Or if they go for an attacking move, it's fine because I'm physically defensive, intimidate, and they don't do that much damage. So Hitmontop is really, really good. It's very predictable, but it is a very, very effective mon, and I enjoyed using it. Ditto is awesome. I loved using Ditto. I like using it for scouting sets. I like using it to take advantage of the opponent's Pokemon and use it against them, which I didn't do a whole lot. I guess I did. I was able to use against Jack to kill his Mega Latios, which was good. But besides that other game that I brought it, which was, I think against, was that only against Trav? That might have been the first week I brought it. Yeah, against Trav. And yeah, scouting sets was really, really nice. So Ditto's cool. It's also very cheap. I did enjoy using that. Hydreigon is good. Kind of expensive for what it ended up doing because it only got 4 kills, brought it to 7 games. Hydreigon, the thing with Hydreigon is it just didn't end up getting all the kills, you know, like, people were more scared of Hydreigon and they just had better answers to it than they did things like Roserade, so it's just like, oh, Hydreigon is like a special attacker that, like, does this, but Roserade just does it better for some reason. I'm not even saying that Roserade's better, that's just how the team structure ended up happening. I used Hydreigon a lot for just U-turn momentum also. I think I brought the wrong Hydreigon sets a couple times, or I just didn't bring it for damage a lot. I brought it for U-turn, I brought it for a Dragon type that wasn't Mega Altaria. So I think Hydreigon was just kind of out on its own. It's a good mon, would definitely draft again, but it is kind of expensive for what it ended up doing for me. But it's still really good. I like that it's bulky, even though I didn't really use bulky Hydreigon at all. I probably should have a couple games, but I didn't. Lantern is, I still like Lantern, despite all the crap that I've given Lantern this season, because it, you know, 1 kill, 6 deaths. It was actually at the bottom of the Golden Pokeball Award for a little bit, but it's kind of righted itself out. It's still good. I kept bringing the wrong ability. I kept predicting the wrong mons. Also, Lantern is a mon that works a little bit better with Wish support, if I had it. So that is that's another thing. My team as a whole just had defensive mons that didn't have recovery, and that was probably my ultimate downfall for the season. So Wish would have helped a little bit, would have also become a little bit predictable, but I think Lantern worked a lot better last season because I had Gardevoir that I brought Wish on a lot, as opposed to this season where Lantern just had to try and take things on 1v1, and it just kept getting worn down, wasn't able to do much, and yeah, but I am still a big fan of Lantern. It's a very good value pick, it's very cheap, it's good typing, it's bulky. I still say draft Lantern, I'm still a big fan. And of course I got 3 kills to Life Orb / Recoil, and I think all 3 of them are probably Arcanine, Flare Blitz, Recoil kills. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are Arcanine Recoil kills. So that is my opinion of all the mons I got to use. That is basically my summary of all this, and you can see the stats of how they did. This is probably the best collection of mons that I had in terms of performance. But yeah, so that is Season 3, Division 1 of the PPL. You best believe we'll be back for Season 4. We need to try and win. Next season, you know, it's going to be probably the hardest one yet. You know, each season is just going to get harder and harder as people get better and better, and better people keep coming into the league. It's going to be insane. So, but I hope you guys, you know, come back for Season 4 and support the Pittsburgh Pyroar, because I'm ready to come back and just, you know, tear through the league, do all that stuff, and you know, improve upon this season, because we're still near the top of the table. We're still, you know, things like that. So we just need to improve upon that, change a couple little things, and we'll be good to go. So that is the end of Season 3. Hope you guys have enjoyed the season. Hope you guys have enjoyed the Pittsburgh Pyroar and everything like that. So I hope to see you guys next season. But until then, and until the next video that I see you guys in, stay sly.